Hello, everybody. David here. Welcome. Here we share true stories from real people. Today, starting out with the first story. AIW? Invited to a wedding, but there's a catch. I was thrilled to see a wedding invitation in my mailbox. I pulled it out, and a small slip of paper fell out onto the card, but I read the invitation first. It was truly beautiful, and I immediately stuck it on the fridge like a piece of art. It was addressed to my husband and me, and I was so excited. I love weddings. I tend to tear up and smile until my face hurts from the joy of new beginnings and all the love. I'm even a wedding singer, that's how much I love them. I picked up the card and read it, and while my husband was invited, I would be in a separate room helping babysit all the kids there along with a few other female guests. There's a special room for the kids at the church, and that's where I'll be. For everything. I still need to dress for the wedding in case any photos are taken, but I'll be having the reception meal with the kids and attending the ceremony with all the kids. There was also a link to their gift registry. Oh, and the meals for my husband and me would be $100 and each, with a link to pay that when we RSVP digitally. The first issue here is that I'm disabled at 50 years old. Legally. I use oxygen. I use a walker when I need to walk long distances. Sometimes, I have to ditch the walker altogether and use a wheelchair. I'm not proud of it, but there it is. I can happily sit in a room and watch the kids, but I'd be pretty useless when it comes to preventing falls or stopping a child from choking or anything else that requires quick movement. Secondly, my husband isn't the one who grew up with these people. I am. Why is he invited to watch the ceremony and attend the reception, but I'm not? My husband said he'd gladly watch the kids and let me attend the wedding and reception, but the invitation explicitly states that only other female guests are babysitting, so I doubt they'd allow him. Is this normal at weddings now? Do you pick guests to babysit for other guests? Should I call them and explain my health situation, even though they already know about it, and have visited me during my multiple hospital stays this year? I hate to pull the medical card, but honestly, what are they thinking? I confess I feel insulted and hurt that I'm nothing more than a babysitter to them, who has to pay for dinner and provide free childcare. Would I be wrong to just tell them we can't make it and they need to find someone else to babysit? And if we don't go, do we still send a gift? Update to address some questions. I know these people because my mom and the bride's grandmother were best friends. So I grew up with the bride's mom as an almost sister to me. We went to school together, graduated together, worked at the same place twice, and have been extremely close ever since. The bride is like a goddaughter to me, or at least I thought she was. I'm stunned here. The church where they're having the wedding is a Southern Baptist church. They're not members. None of us are super religious. They just liked the venue and booked it. I've never been inside, but the outside is beautiful, and apparently it has a large enough nursery room for a group of women and kids to comfortably hold the wedding and reception. We're all Americans. The groom's family is related to mine by marriage, and the bride and groom met at my house during a party a few years ago. However, I've always been closer to the bride's family. I know an offer was made. I got a FaceTime about 10 minutes after it happened, and my husband and I cried, laughed, and wished them all the best, oohed and awed over their story and the ring. I definitely expected an invitation. But not like this. The last time I had lunch with the bride's mom, she told me they were inviting about 200 people, so I assumed this would be a big wedding with lots of kids. No, I don't hate kids. I love kids. I would have loved to have my own, but my body didn't allow for that. It took 2 miscarriages and 1 stillbirth for me to finally accept that it wasn't going to happen for us. We're in the process of legally adopting 2 young men we took in when we found out they were kicked out of their homes and homeless at 18. They've lived with us for years, and we're making it official. They call us mom and dad, and we're a family. I'm still considering my options. I've started and deleted multiple emails to the bride's mom. I'm currently too stressed out, and my tone isn't the kindest. I want to get everything in writing so there's no he said/she said. I planned on asking if they mistakenly sent me the babysitting notice, because they know I'm physically incapable of doing that. But every start of an email leads to WTF, Donna? So I need to think about it some more. Thanks for all the comments. I'm reading them all. Update, on the same post 6 days later, July 17, 2024. I talked to my friend, the bride's mom, and I'm pretty upset. I've been ranting most of the day. She called and said they're getting a lot of backlash from the wedding guests. No one wants to pay $100 and for dinner, and only 3 women agreed to babysit. I told her I understand why the guests were upset at 1. Being asked to pay, and 2. Being told you're invited but only to babysit. I told her I wasn't going to be a babysitter. At all. No. Just no. She got angry and brought up how we've been friends our whole lives. She said I'd be more helpful to them by babysitting than I would be by just sitting in the pews observing. I reminded her that I can't help physically at all because, I'm legally disabled. She said they fully understood that and just wanted me to supervise the other babysitters because they trusted me the most. Again, I told her I felt insulted to be voluntold, thanks, Reddit, for that word, that I'd be babysitting, and that I didn't want to do it, especially not in a nice dress. Then we got to the real issue. She said she didn't know if I'd be in a wheelchair that day or need my walker. That's fair. I don't always know which one I'll need. She said they wanted everyone sitting on the pews to be videotaped for the wedding, and me sitting in a wheelchair would make me stick out and ruin the video/photos. I said, if I need a wheelchair that day, I can move to another seat, and my husband can take the wheelchair to another room or back to our car. I may not even need it that day. She then said, well, seating is limited on the pews. You'll be taking up the space of 2 people with your purse and oxygen tank. I said, no, I won't bring my purse inside. And the oxygen tank will sit on my lap or between my legs. It's like a small backpack. She then said, well, having your oxygen tank in the photos will distract people. And there you have it. Words were exchanged and she hung up on me. I haven't been removed from any social media yet, but I fully expect that. I feel terrible that this is my life at 50. I didn't choose this. I didn't want this. If she thinks it's awful to take photos of it, imagine living with it. That's what I told her before she hung up on me. I'm devastated. Just devastated. Second update on July 25, 2024. I'm not in the best headspace. Honestly, I don't think I've ever been worse. I haven't RSVP'd or had any further contact with them. Until another invited guest reached out to me and said that the bride's mom, a woman I've considered a sister, has been bad-mouthing me. I explained my side, and our mutual friend was furious. They told the bride's mom and the bride that they were wrong to want to exclude me because I may or may not need a wheelchair and would have to wear an oxygen tank on my face. They told her I could remove the oxygen for photos. So, the bride's mom sent me a message saying, and I quote, well, if you're going to make a F-seeking issue about the aesthetics we're trying to achieve and try to turn other guests against us, then you can F-seeking come and sit in a pew, but not in the pictures, and we'll try to have the videographer edit you out of the wedding video too, but I won't forget how you've made this difficult for us. I replied, how did I make this difficult other than existing? She replied, you clearly be bitched about what I said to you about your wheelchair and oxygen tank, and she's been telling others. We're getting so much hate. I said, she asked if I was attending, and I said no and explained why. I didn't lie to her. I told her exactly what you said. You didn't tell me not to share your reasons. If they're valid reasons to you, then why do you care who knows? So now, I'm blocked by the bride, her mom, dad, and groom. A lifelong friendship is over. The goddaughter I helped raise and care for is gone. We paid for the bride's car insurance, gas and cell phone through high school and college because we wanted her to focus on her studies, not a part-time job. Her parents bought her a car but insisted she work, but her grades dropped when she did, so we helped her. And this is how they thank us. This is how they repay our kindness. I guess I was a great friend when I was giving money, but I'm not good enough to be seen. I feel like a burden my whole life, and this has set me back so far. I'm just not okay. Update 3 added July 30, 2024. Apparently, my post has gone viral because it's been featured on Fox News and a site called Bored Panda. A few mutual friends reached out, asking if it was me, and I admitted it was. They had been told something entirely different about the situation. The bride's mom told them that I refused to come due to health issues and was afraid I would ruin the wedding, so I declined to RSVP. She even claimed she begged me to attend since the engagement, which is a bold-faced lie. I hosted and paid for the after-engagement party so they could announce their news to everyone, and I also made it clear to everyone that I was excited to attend the wedding. So I sent screenshots, pictures of the invitation, and a card stating I'd be babysitting, followed by the confrontation where I was told I could sit in a pew and just be edited out of the video, and not be in any photos. I also posted it on Facebook and shared the receipts there. Well, World War III has officially started. I know I have all of today and tomorrow off, but here's the latest. News has spread quickly. Links to the article have popped up everywhere, and I've been told that some of the women who agreed to babysit have now backed out, asking if there's something wrong with them that makes them unfit to sit in a pew or be in photos. And I think it might have happened because 2 of them have unnatural hair colors and the other has facial piercings. The church that was booked as the venue has been notified, and I've heard it might not even happen there because the pastor's daughter has to sit in a wheelchair after a car accident. He was going to officiate, but now he says he's conflicted about it and the message it would send. My former friend and the bride have been blowing up my husband's phone since I blocked them after this went public. They blocked me first on all social media, and he let it go on for a few days to see what they had to say. He blocked them, but mostly because I was accused of being jealous that I was never blessed with children of my own. So that's why I'm ruining this for them. I'm spiteful, petty, and full of hatred because I hate them for their good health. Did I mention the groom is related to me by marriage? That entire branch of the family tree has now divided itself, with some siding with me and others with the bride. The groom hasn't contacted us at all, but his mom did and told me I was wrong to share personal business and needed to let the bride have her wedding the way she wants. I disagree that I did anything wrong here. I can't help that I'm male. They make me feel like a piece of trash that should be tossed in the landfill. I'm hurting. I'm really hurting over this. Hello Dana, my former friend and practically my sister. If you're reading this, you've devastated me. I'm not okay. I don't know if I'll ever be okay again. I've invested time and money into both you and your daughter. I gave both of you a home when your marriage was falling apart and never charged you rent or asked for help with groceries or utilities. You lived in our home for over a year and we paid for you, so it's wrong how you've treated me. My oxygen mask and potential need for a wheelchair would be the last thing on your mind, because what would matter most is that I, feeling awful as usual, would still wear my best dress, do my makeup to look presentable, smile through my pain, and show up for you as I always have. But I will never do that again. If people notice me in your photos, it will be because I'm the biggest and proudest one there, and they will see the love I have for you radiate from the picture. You'll regret this one day when I'm gone and realize there's more to life than a perfect photo. Everyone, thank you for the private messages and all the comments. It's safe to say that war has erupted in my town, and I'm reeling, and honestly, I've never felt lower in my life. I've been having some pretty unhealthy thoughts, so now I'm seeing my therapist twice a week instead of once every few weeks. I'm really not okay, but you and your support and all the funny comments have really helped me. Thank you all. Hello, everybody, David here. Welcome. Here we share true stories from real people. Today, starting out with the first story. AITA from moving out after my mom announced she's pregnant. I'm 22F, my mom is 37, and I have 3 younger siblings, F14, F7, and M4. My sister and I have different fathers, and the 2 younger ones, along with the baby on the way, all share the same dad, our stepdad. I'm sorry if this is confusing. There are 3 dads in total, but currently, only our stepdad is in the picture. I've been the babysitter and the mom growing up. When my sister was born, I magically became a mother, even though I wasn't even in double digits yet. As the others came along, I was still the mom. I didn't get to play, hang out, or be a kid. My job at home was to cook, clean, raise my siblings, and take care of my mom. She grew up incredibly immature, liked drinking, partying, spending money on lavish things, and not being a mom. Now she's acting more like a mother, but a lot of the work still falls on me. She robbed me of my childhood, and I'm very bitter about that. The only reason I stayed at home this long is because no one would take me in, and I felt like I could put up with it, all for free rent and food. It was a good deal for me back then, but now I'm 22. I'm done being a mother when I don't even have kids of my own. Last year, my stepdad's parents passed away in a car accident, and being their only child, he inherited everything. We all moved into their house, and with some money in their pockets, I guess they decided to have a baby. When my mom announced it, I asked her if she was serious. She confirmed and jokingly asked if I still had diaper changing skills. I silently fumed. I gave a dry laugh and found some roommates online that night. The thought of wasting another decade raising my siblings sounded like pure hell. She found out that I'm planning to move out in August, and now she's furious, calling me every name in the book and selfish. She's roped my siblings into it, and my youngest sister is crying, asking why I don't love them anymore and why I'm leaving. Using the kids like that is so low and heartbreaking. I don't want to stay, but I don't want them to cry. I know I'm doing the right thing for myself, but is it the right thing for them? My mom never really raised us growing up. She won't do it now, so I took on that role. I was the one who changed diapers and taught them their ABCs and all that. I'm the one who made dinner and gave them baths. I don't see any of my siblings as siblings but as my own children because, essentially, that's what they are. I don't think she'll be able to do a good job. She and my stepdad rely on me heavily in that area. Ete for leaving? I need advice on how to get through these feelings and move on. Edit, the next day, same post. Edit, wow, this blew up in a way I didn't expect. Thank you all for your kind messages. You're all right, I need to go. My mom and stepdad need to figure this out. I will talk to all 3 of my siblings and explain that me leaving is normal and good. I'll always be a phone call away. However, I'm most worried about my 14-year-old sister and won't hesitate to involve authorities if I suspect she's going through what I went through or if she tells me herself. I'll soon have a different kind of talk with her to try and prevent her from becoming the new mom. Thank you all. If I update again, it'll be after I've moved out. I truly appreciate your support. It gives me the strength to do what's right even when it hurts. My mom and stepdad can hire a babysitter with his inheritance if they really can't handle it. Relevant comment. Commenter. You're not taking a break now, it's only getting dragged on, and your mom sounds like the queen of bad choices. Like, Jesus. Run for your life. Keep in touch with your siblings, but you are not obligated to mother your mom's children. OOP, I agree with her being the queen of bad decisions. When I was born, I could forgive her because she was young and needed guidance. My grandparents, her parents, were lenient and let her do whatever she wanted without consequences. It was actually fun when I was a kid because there were no rules. As I grew up, I was shuffled around to her boyfriends' houses and often left with her friends while she partied. Eventually, as you might expect, I learned that it wasn't fun at all, and I needed my mom. I would cry, and she would push me aside because she didn't want a parent. Now she's doing more, as I said in my post, but it's clear she doesn't know what kids are really like. She treats them like accessories because they always get dumped on me. She knows she's in for a whole world of hell when I leave. Commenter: you tell the kids, I will always love you in my heart, no matter what. And you leave because you deserve a life that isn't being a mate to your mom's failed birth control philosophy. You being forced into parenting at such a young age was a form of abuse. Sit down with your 14th sister and explain what happened to you, and that she can't let that happen to her. Your mom is going to come after her next. It would be a very good idea to get a therapist to help you readjust to exactly how poorly you were treated and why you need to leave. Really, you can't help the other kids until you help yourself first. OP, I also think a lot about my sister, which makes this so hard. I took everything on so she wouldn't have to. I want her to be a kid. 14 is way too young to be a parent, and I know that's what will happen to her. I know she'll just do what she's told, and she's responsible enough to recognize when something's wrong, and she'll try to fix it herself and fall into that trap. I don't know how to talk to her without blowing up my family, but I know it needs to be done. My younger siblings cried and cried, thinking I'd never come back. Even though I told them I'd visit, my mom keeps telling them I'll never come back and that I'm abandoning the family. Update: August 9, 2024, 22 days later. Hi everyone. I just wanted to say thank you again for your kind words and encouragement. You have no idea what they mean to me. I've moved out, and things are okay. My mom and stepdad have blocked me, but my 14-year-old sister is doing okay so far. I had private talks with all my siblings, but it was tough in so many ways. I had a huge argument with my mom on the day I left, but it was predictable. She didn't say anything new. She called me selfish, a child, a bad daughter, and said she wished she had aborted me. Nothing I hadn't heard before. About a week before moving out, I stopped doing most of the things I used to do. My parents were panicking and we argued a lot, but I'm glad it's over. Every time they saw me, they would either insult me to my face or under their breath. My mom would act like I was invisible and talk badly about me to whoever was around. She filled my siblings' heads with nonsense, and I was extremely stressed about that. I seriously considered staying at that point. I almost stayed home, which I know would have disappointed all of you, but I nearly did. This hasn't been an easy transition for my siblings, and they're so young. It's heartbreaking to see them caught up in all this. My parents don't know what to do for some reason. They have no patience and can't get the kids to listen to them. I know they don't have much experience with childcare, but they're acting completely clueless. It's been really hard to watch them struggle and see my siblings suffer because of it. I feel terrible and like I'm abandoning them. School is starting soon, and I usually get them ready, so that'll be an issue coming up. I'm glad I won't be around for that, but I'm sad I won't be there. My brother will be starting kindergarten, and my sister will be starting her first year of high school. Those are important milestones I wanted to be there for. But on the positive side, my sister is playing the incompetent card on purpose, and I love her for it. After our talk about not being like me, she told me she's going to pretend she doesn't know how to do anything until our mom stops asking her, which hasn't happened yet. Apparently, mom's been asking her to cook, bathe the kids, dress them, etc. All the little things that would lead to her becoming the new mom. I'm proud of her for sticking to the plan for as long as she has. She's much stronger than I thought. I really thought I'd have to convince her not to do anything, but she's doing way better than I expected. I just hope she doesn't break under the pressure. I know it's tough. To visit, I have to be invited back to the house, but that's not going well since I'm blocked. I don't want my sister to be the middleman, though she's tried. I want to see everyone, but without permission, there's nothing I can do. And if anyone cares about my new place, my roommates are amazing. The first night we settled in, we played Monopoly, and it was a great bonding experience. And they're super clean. It seems small, but holy crap, it's fantastic. I love my current setup and hope it lasts. So, yeah, I'm okay. My sister hasn't taken over my role, and I hope she never does, and my parents are losing their minds as expected. I can see their marriage falling apart in the future. They can figure all this out and level up from start to finish. Part of me still feels extremely guilty for leaving, and sometimes I regret it, but my newfound freedom is amazing, and I remember why I left. Tonight I'm going to a bar with my roommates for the first time in my life to unwind and have fun. It sounds weird, but I feel like a teenager now. Everything feels exciting and a little illegal, like I'm past curfew. So, thank you all again. I don't think I would have actually acted without your words. Even though I found roommates, I don't think I could have left on my own. I wouldn't have committed and probably just stayed home. I'm not as strong as I thought. It really helped me make the decision, thinking about disappointing you all. I've never met any of you, but having people cheer me on, and knowing so many of you read my post and wrote me kind messages was really helpful. I couldn't be more grateful or excited to live my life. I think this is a great time to update because tonight I'm going out to have fun. One day, all the guilt will be gone, and I'll mend my relationships with everyone. I still want to have a relationship with my mom one day if she changes and allows it. As much as I say I hate her, I still love her. She's still my mom. But until then, goodbye everyone. Thank you all so much.